our journey down the yellow brick road here on Terrific Non-TV Toys. From Mego's 1970s Wizard of Oz collection, we've already taken a look at the Dorothy doll, the Good Witch, and the Wicked Witch. So now let's turn our attention to a few more wonderful pieces from this collection. If I only had a brain, a heart, the nerve. Here are the three boys who accompanied Dorothy down the yellow brick road to the Emerald City of Oz as seen in the 1939 movie by MGM. And this is the full set of them from Mego, full except for one part, and we'll get to that in a minute. Scarecrow, Tin Woodsman, and Cowardly Lion. So let's take a look at each one of those guys. Scarecrow first. In the movie, the Scarecrow was played by Ray Bolger, who was born in January 10th, 1904, died January 15th, 1987. He was a vaudeville actor, and he also did Broadway after The Wizard of Oz. He used his real name. He was born Raymond Bolger, and he was known as a song and dance man, and he is completely intact as this Mego figure. He's got his degree in common sense, his brain, as granted to him by the wizard in the movie. He's got his hat, which I can see still has its little stretchy thing. These, by the way, all three of these I got as a child. My mother bought these for me. So these are all original and from my childhood. Hat doesn't really stay on. We'll set that aside. And then his outfit is in very good condition. See, I got these and I loved them and I played with them a little bit. But with something like this, with such a unique mold, you don't really change their clothes. I don't think I've ever taken his outfit off or tried to put different clothing on him. But I'll show you a little bit. Oh, seriously, I don't even know if I ever knew that. I probably knew that. Maybe I didn't. Blue underneath that, like blue underwear. That is so fun. Then he's got his brown, sort of canvasy type, linen type pants on with an elastic waist. That's what I was kind of getting at back here. And same material for the top that he has, the shirt, a canvasy linen type. And then approximating twine around his waist and around his wrists, and then looks like straw coming out of his sleeves, which is some nice soft fringe. He's got some twine around his neck that's connected to this part that is also connected to his shirt as a sort of collar. But everything will remove. I just don't think I've ever tried to, like I said, change his clothes because, you know, as a little girl playing with dolls, it's not really practical from this standpoint. You just kind of leave his outfit on him because it's the only outfit that makes sense on him. He does have both his shoes still. If you take those off, you can see the standard Mego mold and articulation for a male figure. And you see a little bit of that detail on the boots, which appear to be a custom job. I don't know, I could probably learn more at megomuseum.com, which is where I go to learn about Megos like this, to see if these boots were ever used for another Mego figure at the time in the 70s. And look at that, he stands. I like that too. But yeah, everything else, standard Mego articulation. Look at the yellow hands. That is interesting. But definitely a custom mold on the head. Love that. Even got the appearance of straw coming out on the back of his head. So that's the Scarecrow with his hat and his degree. Let's look at the Tin Woodsman. Not many pieces to lose here, only the axe and maybe the boots. I suppose you can take the boots off. I have a feeling they'd be really hard to get back on, so I'm not going to do that. And what the Tin Woodsman has going on, for one thing, he's got silvery hands, but not silvery arms. He's got flesh-colored arms I can see down there under his casing here. But silver hands and a silver head. Again, a wonderful custom mold that you would never see on another figure with this tin can on the top. And this, by the way, Jack Haley, who was born John Joseph Haley Jr. on August 10th, 1897, died on June 6, 1979. Like Bolger, he was a vaudeville actor, and he also did Broadway after the Oz. And he ended up being the godfather of the gentleman's son who played the lion, Bert Lahr. He was the godfather to Bert Lahr's son. All three of these guys in real life, the guys who played these characters in the movie in 1939, they were friends. And you really got that on screen, didn't you? I really had that feeling, you know, both in these characters and then in their alter egos in the Kansas scenes, the black and white or sepia tone Kansas scenes when they showed their alter egos in Dorothy's real life. You really got the feeling that they were friends. So anyways, back to the Tin Woodsman. He has got a full body gray, silver gray leotard on, and he has this plastic casing over it that cannot be removed. So talk about not being able to change clothes. Definitely you cannot change this guy's clothes. So, but all the articulation that you know Megos for. And he's got his heart still as the, and it's a sticker. It has a clock on it, similar to what you saw in the movie, but just a sticker on him. So that is the Tin Woodsman. Now on to the Cowardly Lion, as I mentioned, Bert Lahr, who was actually born Irving Lahrheim on August 13th, 1895. He was born under the Leo sign. Isn't that perfect? And he died on December 4th, 1967. He was the oldest of the three, having been born in 1895. And also, like the other two, did vaudeville, did Broadway. And like the other two, you would say that The Wizard of Oz was his most famous role. And so for this figure by Mego, you've got the courage. It's not really a pendant, something that goes around his neck. But over time, this is really deteriorating on mine. So I don't want to try to remove it. I know as a kid I put it on there and I figured I'll just leave it on so I don't lose it. But it's frayed down to just a thread in the back, and the blue and white part of the red, white, and blue is separating. But it's just a piece of plastic, an emblem, a medallion that says courage, which he got from the wizard because he wanted the nerve. And again, look at that custom mold on the head, made to look like the actor as he appeared in the movie. Very nicely done. You can even see whiskers here, depending on the camera angle. And in the back, he's got his cat fur. And then the whole outfit, I love the tail. I love the tail. It snaps in the back. Let's see if we see any imprint. Yeah, it just says Hong Kong, Mego Corp, 1973 for this body mold. So we'll snap that back up for him. Snaps are a little tough. There we go. There's the snap. And this is the only piece missing that I know besides the fraying of the medallion here. The only piece missing from this set of three figures is one of his shoes. We'll call them shoes, footwear. It's meant to be his paw there. But nice furry jumpsuit, leotard, whatever you want to call it. Got the fur in front like the lion's mane. Not much detail on the hands, meant to be a mitten. But and then a little bit different material here on the front to approximate the fur, darker brown fur as opposed to just felt on the back. All right, like Dorothy, all three of these guys learned that they had what it took all along as they made that journey down the yellow brick road. And didn't Mego just provide a wonderful fantasy time for all of us kids who owned these wonderful figures and could play with them and pretend that we were going down the yellow brick road. Love it. All right, well, thanks for watching. Next part in this series is going to be the Wizard and the Emerald City playset, which will be smashing. So stay tuned for that next month on Terrific Non-TV Toys.